Hey folks, this is Gray here, and today we're going to look at my pantry haul, or my prepper pantry haul for the month. Now, here's a big thing, folks, and I got a comment the other day, and I have to agree with the statement that I received. Usually I do large-scale hauls, usually more towards the end of the month. I think what I'm going to be doing is doing them bi-weekly, and if you guys want to see more hauls like this on a, let's say, a bi-weekly basis. I even do some mini hauls in the week if I see a deal or whatnot. But if you want to see more stuff like this, please put that down in the comments. That'll kind of give me an idea of what you guys are looking for here on the channel outside of what I normally do. Anyways, folks, if you're watching this and you want not to hear me ramble on, skip to the next chapter where we're actually going over the haul. I just want to say a couple of tidbits before we get going. Because basically what I did is I went to a couple of stores looking for deals, as I always do, and which I suggest you, my viewers, do as well when you're trying to stock up on food. This go around, I stocked up on some staples that I need to fill in. And the reason why is, do we see what's happening currently in the world today, specifically what's been on the news over the last several cycles? You've heard some folks talk about it on YouTube, as well as some possible news channels and outlets talking about it as well. The resurgence of the you-know-who is coming back from 2020. A lot of people have heard rumors about, being locked back down, possibly, getting this and that. Not to say that that's going to happen, but you might want to get what you can now before the getting gets crazy, because stuff like flour, stuff like little small things that we thought that we would have around for us for long term at an affordable price disappeared off the shelves. People were struggling to find a lot of things because the supply chain gets disrupted because of the situation and things that happen in other states. It's a very tight-knit situation, and one piece of the puzzle falls apart, it creates issues across the board, and ironically, we're still dealing with these things today. So I kind of want to show you what I got today in my haul. The only thing I didn't buy at the store, which got shipped to my door today, which was this, which is my Keystone Meats. I had that on a kind of auto order. Basically once a month I get things, and the reason I decided to pick turkey as we're moving closer to the holidays is because there's been a few years in recent history that turkey has been a commodity limit, buy one turkey, and you want to have a Thanksgiving meal with your family and celebrate and give thanks, and all in all some things would disappearing. So as long as I have a backup plan, that makes my life and the life of my family that much more better. All right, so I think I said my piece here, and we'll start going and breaking down all the stuff here on the table, and talk about why I picked some of these things and these items. And again, folks, I know some folks are going to make a statement like, well, I can't eat rice, I can't eat pasta, I can't eat this. I understand that some people have restrictions. Let's say you have a gluten allergy. Let's say you're a diabetic. Let's say you, whatever the thing, you might have a salt restriction or whatnot. In times of survival, you're going to have to think about how not important some of those issues are, because if you're hungry, you will eat dang near just about anything. Now, this is from my perspective, and I'm not trying to offend anyone at all, but I just wanted to say that because a lot of times people will say, hey, I can't eat that, I wouldn't stock that. Everybody has a different perspective on what they should be stocking. So we'll start talking about some of this stuff and the reasons why I got it, and move on to the prepper haul. Thank you for those who stayed long enough to hear me ramble.
You guys are awesome!
But sometimes you got to get things off your chest and explain a little bit of what's going on. All right, so let's kind of break down this prepper pantry haul. And so we got a couple sauces, and these were on sale. I love when I can find anything on sale. This is tomato, garlic, and onion. Again, I prefer the glass jars due to the acidity and the nature of pasta sauce and whatnot. So I always prefer to grab glass jars. I know they're a little bit more fragile, but they keep for a lot longer. And some folks actually can their own, which is very awesome, and that's something I'm working on myself. But I got that one, and then I just love garlic in general. So I also got the roasted garlic. What we're going to do is going to continue and work ourselves that way. All right, so at the first store, I came across, my daughter loves this stuff, and as well as the rest of the family, is the Brookdale chicken breast that I pick up at Aldi's, and it's easy to grab these flats at Aldi's to use those to put them on the shelves and whatnot. But what I like about it is just that it has a good flavor and it's a pretty good size at a decent price. But here's what I don't like. As you notice, they all have this flip top. A lot of companies are going to this flip top, which I get that it's very easily, but to me the seal is not as solid as the original. And here's the original right here, folks. Same thing, Brookdale chicken breast, but without the flip top. The integrity of this lid is a lot better, and I hate the fact that they're going with the pull tab versus the original version of it. And these are exact same thing. All right, so that being said, I saw another one, and this is not as much as the size of the can as those guys over there, but this was at my local grocer. A lot of folks, if you're from the South, you've heard of Winn-Dixie. That's Aldi. This is Winn-Dixie. But the reason I chose these is because it does have that solid seal on there. And the reason I like these guys is it seems like their best buy date, and remember, these are only best buy dates, is 2026. So we're in 2023 now. So we have almost 3 years to use this chicken, which this chicken won't last that long. This is something that I have to buy at least bi-weekly, sometimes even weekly, because we go through it a lot. Even though I buy tons and tons of the stuff, it's just the family loves to eat that kind of chicken because it's very easy to throw in a pot, mix with some stuff, and make a meal out of it. Let's move on to these onions right here, chopped onions. Basically, all these onions are freeze-dried onions. And the reason I like to do this is whenever it's on sale, folks, again, everything is corresponding to sales. Think about the energy. Have you guys ever dehydrated onions? It can be a very, very crying situation if you kind of get my drift. So when I can find dried onions like this on sale, I always pick up a couple of them, and then I'll take them out of this container here and put them in a food saver bag, throw an oxygen absorber in there, and vacuum seal them all the way up and put them up for long-term storage. Let's talk about one of my favorite companies, which is Keystone. Here I got a case of the Keystone turkey, and I'll probably mention it again, or maybe I already mentioned it. I'm getting old, so my brain doesn't work as well as it used to. But this, I love the turkey. I love the ground beef as well. You guys have seen probably reviews that I've done on the ground beef on hauls. Basically, once a month, I will have them ship me a case of whatever meats that I'm looking for. And being that we're getting close to that time, I decided to get a whole case of turkey just in case Thanksgiving gets complicated or something happens to the supply chain. But yes, love the stuff. I don't know if you guys ever look at Keystone's, their best buy dates. I don't know if the camera's going to focus in on that, but that one says 2028. And very little ingredients. If you're someone who reads ingredients on there, turkey and sea salt. That's it. Turkey and sea salt. Just like their ground beef and all the other stuff, man. This, by far, for proteins, is probably the best company to go with. Love Keystone. All right, folks. If you grew up in the 90s, or not grew up in the 90s, but let me see, I grew up in the 80s, but around in the 90s, going to high school or college, you probably know what ramen noodles are. These things will probably be like the end of the world food and last forever. It's high in sodium and high in carbs. It's probably not the healthiest food for you, but my daughter loves this stuff. And ironically, the wife enjoys this once in a while as well, especially when she's sick. She'll do this. I try to get her to do more natural stuff, but hey, you can't argue with your wife, just so you guys know. Any fellows watching this, man, do not argue with your wife. She's always right. But anyways, folks, I got a 12-pack, and the weird thing is if you get the cups, they're $2.99, and you can see the price differences here in this clip in regards to these packs, that for $2.99 versus like 60 or 70 cents more, you can get a 12-pack and make your dollar go a lot further if this is something that you prep with. I've seen a lot of other pantry hauls that do have it, and they seem to like these two here. They like the beef and the chicken, so that's usually what I stock up on for those folks. All right, moving on to the beloved Spam. Beloved Spam. How many folks out there have this in your pantry? I have to know how many folks have this. But again, you got to get what your family likes, because you don't want to buy food and stock your emergency pantry or your long-term food pantry with stuff that no one likes. Some people hate Spam, but my daughter, who is very, very picky, loves this stuff. She mixes it with rice. She does all kinds of crazy things with it. She has made sandwiches. She mixes it with eggs. She absolutely adores Spam. So in order to make her happy, I've been stocking more and more Spam in the long-term pantry for her, because she loves the stuff. Like I said, the pull top cans have always been something commonplace with Spam. And even Spam has changed some of the ingredients and whatnot. But hey, to each his own. I never even paid attention to this. I always just grab it for, let's say, 2026. So at least Best Buy for 3 years. But a lot of folks have had Spam sitting on their shelves for 5+, maybe even 10 years. Some people may have a classic can still, which I'd love to see a picture of. Someone should email me if they have a classic can of Spam sitting in their long-term prepper pantry. Moving on. We're getting through this, folks. We're getting through it. Appreciate your guys' patience for taking the time to watch this video in its entirety. Bragg's, one of my favorite companies when it comes to a lot of different things, but their apple cider vinegar is by far the best. Plus, these are glass. Love that they're glass. A lot of stuff comes in plastic. I'm not a big fan of plastic other when I have to. But outside of apple cider vinegar, using it to cook and do other things for, a lot of people using it for medicinal purposes. It comes in very handy for a lot of different things. And I'm not sure what some of you folks may use apple cider vinegar for. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in regards to some of the stuff that I'm talking about in this video. But do you like Bragg's, or do you have a specific brand that you like? Let's talk coffee. I know everybody loves coffee, or at least tea, coffee, one of the two. But coffee is what gets you going in the morning. If you haven't had Café Bustelo, this is something that I've been drinking literally from a child age because I'm Cuban. But some of the best coffee in the business. Now, this wasn't part of my haul. I just wanted to show you that you can buy these bricks that are very thin, or you can buy the big thing of coffee, what I'll show you here, the big family size thing, and then kind of vacuum seal your own bricks. Might not look as pretty as this, but at least you'll have your coffee. I mean, it's still as hard as a brick on there. But anyways, I always like to grab a few of these as well, which is the freeze-dried coffee. A freeze-dried coffee, if you Google it, you can look it up. You don't have to trust anything I say in regards to that. But the freeze-dried coffee pretty much will last you almost indefinitely. So it's always good to have it in case you don't have a way to brew coffee or whatever. Or you're in a rush. Grabbed a couple of those, and some folks would be like, Gray, what are you doing? Decaf. Well, I can't have my daughter bouncing off walls late at night. So when she wants a cup of coffee at night, I always let her do the decaf. So I always like to stock some decaf for her. As she gets older, she can switch over to that. She does do this sometimes, but I always like to keep some decaf on hand for her. And even myself sometimes, I'll admit, I'll do some decaf. It's hard to find the Bustelo decaf in either one of the two, but because it has a richer taste. Folgers is just Folgers. I don't know how to explain it. It's just your classic American coffee. There, folks. We're almost there. We're getting there, folks. All right, baking soda. Why do I like baking soda? And why do I buy such large boxes of baking soda? What is this here? 4 pounds. So we have 8 pounds of baking soda. Well, not only can you use baking soda for cooking, you can also use baking soda medicinally for several different things. You can also use baking soda in the garden. So having baking soda in general has multiple purposes. So that's why I buy a ton of it, because it has so many versatile purposes. And I love the stuff to use it for all different things. So have you ever used baking soda in your garden? Have you ever used baking soda medicinally? Those are some of the things that I'd love to ask you guys, because I have, and I would love to share some like home remedies with you guys if you guys are into that in regards to baking soda. All right, here we go. I love this seasoning. It's one of my favorite seasonings. Like I said, you can use it for all different types of things, for soups, rices, salsas, and all that stuff like that. I'm kind of going off that to kind of get other people have used it for other different things. I always love it when they have this jumbo pack, especially when there's a deal on it, because it comes with 36 packets. So the more you buy, the more you save. I'm always about saving, huge into saving money, especially when it comes to these hauls, because every dime counts. But yes, the 36 pack, one of my favorite seasonings. And seasonings in general, folks, bouillon cubes. If you like garlic, you like ginger. Also, if you like onions and all that stuff like that, turmeric, whatever that you like, you should stock up on. Just to show you guys that what I mean is I love buying these huge things of spices, because it saves you so much money. You can take these larger things and fill up your small bottles to keep in your main pantry in the kitchen. And this will go a long way. Some of you guys might like pasta, some of you may don't, but you can see with the tomato sauce I bought how this plays into each other. But anyways, let me pull this out. And this is penne rigate, and you can kind of see the pasta there. And each one of these are 1 pound. I bought a whole case of it just because it was dirt cheap and it was on sale. Pasta is pasta. be it if you like spaghetti pasta or shell pasta or whatever. But if it's on sale, I'm buying it. This is kind of a filler food. And together we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 and 6 is 12. We got 12 pounds, I think for right around 12 bucks. More items to go. We're almost done, folks. We're almost done. So this rice, the Manhattan, which is a long grain rice, what is this, 20 pounds? Yeah, 20 pounds there. So I was looking at all the different rice, and I like to get jasmine rice for long-term storage. It's just something that's been recommended, but I've used this brand before. But this 20 pounds, folks, this was 10 bucks. I think it was 10 bucks. I might have a clip of that. I'll show it to you so that I can correct myself. But I think that's what it was. The other rice I was looking at, the jasmine rice that I usually buy, that's a 20-pound bag, that thing was $27. So why would I want to spend 17 more dollars? I could have bought 2 for the price of 1 of the other rice. But 20 pounds, I always get a big bag of rice at least once a month. To me, there's never enough rice. Rice is one of those staples that everyone probably has in their pantry, because you can process this, and I'll put a link in the description or a link up somewhere of how to store rice for 25 years or longer. But rice, folks, you know the whole saying, rice and beans, rice and beans. I didn't get any beans this go around because if you guys watched my one video, you saw me processing beans just last week. So we're good on beans. We got those in a little mini haul. But yes, rice, that's one of the staples. A lot of folks, and if you can get it a deal, because buying the small bags is a waste of money, at least from my perspective. You can take this and break it down into 2 pounds. That's just my magic number for myself and my family is 2 pounds. And I will get 10 bags of rice. Probably that would cost probably double the amount of what you would pay for something like this. But not least is all-purpose flour. There we go, folks. Flour, flour, flour. What can you do with flour? So much you can do with flour. You got to have flour. If you remember in 2020 during the whole pandemic thing, flour was like a hot commodity, and finding flour became complicated. So whenever they throw something in the news about, things are getting nasty, I always like to stock up on it. So these are 5-pound bags of flour, and there is 8 of them right here. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 total. So 8 times 5, I have 40 pounds of flour. What I'll do with each one of these is I'll put these in Mylar, vacuum seal them with an oxygen absorber to store them for long term. And if you guys want to see more stuff like that, me taking some of the stuff and putting it for long-term storage, please let me know. But all in all, that's the flour there, and that's going to wrap up this pantry haul. Let's kick it back to me and give you my final thoughts and jibber jabber for just a little bit longer. That being said, I got work to do, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here, please take the time and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And again, what are your comments? What kind of stuff do you guys like to add to your prepper pantry hauls? What do you think about some of the things that I got, be it good or bad? If you hate what I got, or if you love what I got, and understand my perspective on that, I'd like to read that down in the comments as well. Love reading comments. I love when you guys not only comment and interact with me, but interact with each other and sharing ideas with each other in the community. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I would love to see more of it, because a lot of the times for channels like myself and others like it, we get kind of squished, and we need your help as viewers to kind of help us beat the, break the internet per se. So it's always appreciated when you guys start conversating with each other, when you guys hit that like button and the subscribing and putting all the notifications on. And I know some folks hate us because we're repetitive with it, but it really helps out the channels, especially ones like ours or our community and other people that are associated with this community. Anyways, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless, and thank you for watching.